Hello everyone, my name is Vikram Shetty. I'm a director at 73-bit. So in this video, I am trying to help Anvesh, and the first 5-10 minutes is the context, and for the wider uh, people as well to understand why, what strategy I'm trying to do here for Anvesh. So the idea here is to transition into ESG related job. That's a very broad spectrum. But I thought of if anyone wants to go into ESG, especially in context of India, BRSR could be the new opportunity, and things are still settling down there. So there could be a window of opportunity. So focusing on that as an example, but you can pick any ESG related work that you think of as the final destination for landing a job. And here the context is the person was doing a mining job and the transition needs to be there. So I have this idea about uh, the trick here is to find someone on LinkedIn who have already done this transition. And it's very, for me, from an ESG point of view, the source is the investor community, and it applies to across sector. And because of the sustainable finance and things of that sort, so it becomes logical your domain or technical skills of your profession can help in handy. A simplest example would be ESG reporting, but there can be ESG strategy and compliance and project management. So all these areas open up, and I took the help of ChatGPT. For those who don't know, this is natural language, an AI module, basically artificial intelligence, where it can talk to uh, the internet via this channel, via this medium of chat, and you can ask as if you are asking to an expert. An expert are basically the whole internet. So pretty much it is what the current state is, and I'll walk you through the strategy, and this is exactly what I was thinking, and it has been verified by at least ChatGPT. If you are already an expert in the field, you can let me know if this strategy works or not for you in the comment section below. See, I come from a software background and I happen to be working in the USG space. That's why I see it from an outsider perspective. I'm pretty much within the system already. But yeah, this is what, and I like this whole explanation, the steps that ChatGPT has, and the link I will mention in the description below, so you can go and read it. So I'll walk you through the main steps. So if you think this idea works for anyone who is transitioning, you can share this with someone, because I will practically show you how to do the transition, like how I would do if I would be in your place. Okay. So the first thing is definitely you have to be very specific what in ESG you want. So I've focused on BRSR. And so what they have tell is you have to get familiar with standards. Then there is identify transferable skills. So which will include project management, data analysis, stakeholder engagement, compliance. Then additional education. Definitely you need new certificates and education related to it. That's one thing. The fourth is networking. Here they have mentioned about conference, seminar, networking event. That's also good. I would start with LinkedIn networking. It's asynchronous. You can connect with anyone from India. It gives a lot of flexibility. What I'm right now doing is also the same. Build your ESG expertise. Now, what they have done is to do via sustainability project, collaboration from the team. Again, engage with the stakeholders. Here they have to work with investor, regulator, NGOs, and all those. So basically, building the expertise, starting some engagement, stay informed, update your resume or LinkedIn profile. This step is what I'm doing. So why I'm explaining this whole context is to understand where this step fits in and what changes you need to make in your LinkedIn profile when you're starting the journey, right? Because still you are in the mining job in case of Anvesh here. but you're able to transition into the ESG related role. Seek opportunity. This is something that they say, but currently Anvesh is not holding any job due to some reasons. So in that case, it's not applicable for him at least. But for those, if you can find some related job in your current organization, that's excellent. Consider external courses and workshop. Uh, a rule of thumb is do as much as smaller online or weekend workshop online courses on the weekend as much as possible. So every month you keep adding four, and that means in a year you will have about 50 courses done. Build your profile. So in this case, work on relevant project, and also I have some ideas how to do that. I will go further and explain it in detail. Then job search. Definitely, there are different portals that you can see online. LinkedIn could be one of the thing. Prepare for interview. So yeah, highlighting on your skills. So this will be a different kind of interview. So you need to be open about what you have experience, how your current skill will be applicable for the ESG role, and then continuous learning. So this format has been explained. I am very much inclined to this. It won't be an easy transition. That it might take time, but this could be a nice systematic transition that one can apply. That's the idea, and the hack that I am using as my expertise in software and understanding how LinkedIn works is what I'm doing is you are kind of identifying people who have done that. So how you do that is you take two keyword search. So in this case would be mining engineering, put that in inverted quotes, and then you add a plus and you add an ESG. So this tab here I'll go in detail and show you. So when you do that, it will have mining engineers and the ESG role both. Ideally, because it's a core competency, the mining engineer will be in the start, and the ESG would be something latest. That would be the transition. And then basically you reach out to them, have some information interview. What is that? I will explain it later, and get information. And then you can do because someone has done that already, it's much easier to follow the path and avoid the mistakes that they have done, and so on and so forth. And you will understand the timelines. Make a more informed decision rather than reaching out randomly to someone and asking for a job. So that's the premise. If so far you found this piece of information useful, share this video with someone who might want to get transition into the ESG space on during these festive times. All right, so let's jump into it. So Anvesh has asked me to revamp the LinkedIn profile. So I'm not going to like revamp. Like I'm. What I will do is I will share my suggestions, my observations, and because now you understand the context, even Anvesh understands. So all my observations would be definitely with some of my LinkedIn experience, uh, with almost 5,000 followers that I have now. So, and some of the things that, from a point of view of getting a job and understanding the context, the story. So that's how I will do. So what I've done is I've created a 10-page presentation. Basically, it's a document. I also mention the link in the description so he can read, even you can read. So idea is step by step, I'll go through each section of LinkedIn and share my point of view, and give you some examples, also some best practices and things. So let's see how it goes. So first things first. So the context is like someone who is either hiring ESG role and looking for a mining engineer. From that point of view, we have to uh, update or revamp in Anven's case to uh, attract or at least reach out to us to get the opportunity. So we'll go one by one. So the banner. So yeah, this is nice. He has explained that he's in mining, but that's not helpful because the message is not clearly visible. So what I would recommend is to mention that you are looking for an ESG related role, and specifically if you have done your research, then you can mention explicitly which kind of role you are looking for. From this point of, for this example, I'm looking at BRSR, and you might have to do some research, and but you can at least mention that related to BRSR. At least it will be a little more specific. A thing about uh, getting more specific and niche is you kind of get more rich opportunity. Okay, so that I would have mentioned. So if you like anyone visiting my profile, they know like there is a free 2x formula, get it on this website, and they can download now. So that's it. So because they have come in, I want them to do something. So in this case, they might want to reach out to you, so you're open for job, or so that you can mention there. So that's it. Photo is good enough, nothing bad about it. Can enable an open to work option that is available on LinkedIn, so that it is mentioned. Let's go to the headline. I find this too crowded. Uh, you have mentioned your current job and all the software names and all that. I found this too crowded. My recommendation would be to have three max thing mentioned and separate them with pipe, and maybe start with something looking for ESG role, right? So you can even mention that here, right? So instead of assistant manager, looking for an ESG role. So it kind of double attacks the people if they don't see images for some reason, if they want to see what your role is, because recruiters have that tendency, they can, oh, looking for an ESG role, so that they can get in mining industry you can mention. Plus you can figure out what other two or three things that you want to mention, okay, that you have to figure out. uh, I haven't spoken to you, so I don't know what your this. Sharing standard framework, some ideas, so that you can adopt it. How to refine it, I will share that idea at the end in information interview. So stick with me. Avoid using these icons and all. It doesn't look too much professional. And plus, I think if there are some automated software, I'm not sure who scrapes data, they might exclude it or something. I don't know exactly, but I would uh, I would avoid it. One of the reason is I did this search of people who have done your transition that you're looking for, which will go in some time. This mining engineer plus ESG, and I found 216 people. I've reviewed the profile of 5 people, and they have not. They have kept it very smooth and simple. I will show you exactly what they have done. The next is about. Uh, I found that it's not bad. It's good. You mentioned all your thing. It's too crowded. There needs to be some spacing in between. And I'm not sure if it is attracting headhunters nicely, right? Like you might have to kind of uh, mention something which is very connecting. So identifying the existing skill that maps. Okay, so negotiation skills, solving conflicts, and all, so that could be project management and all those. You can highlight if any technical skills of data analysis and all that I've seen you have done. So you can mention that. So that would be one thing. So it's not recruiter friendly. I found it. Uh, so you can figure out, and you can improve it. See, this is a sales page of your job hunt. So if someone likes it, they will go dig deep, and once they dig deep, you want to get them in first. So, what kind of role you are looking for? You can mention some more about that, add some specific numbers and outcome that you have delivered. Maybe you have worked with a huge amount of a particular uh, core in mining, a particular metal or something that you can mention, and what you have exactly mentioned. Throw some numbers there. Uh, and maybe leave your phone number and contact. So if I wouldn't mind, even if you're a banner, you can leave your number, or so that people, it should be easy for people to reach out to you. You can mention your email also somewhere, so that it's easy for people to reach out to you. So that's how I would look about it. It's purely a sales page, right? So we want people to get in touch with you. Feature post, there is no post, so forget about featured post. A feature post is something that LinkedIn gives. You can do a Google search. Basically, you have to set up, go to a particular post, and you can set it at features, and then it looks something like that. So again, you see, someone comes down, I'm again asking them to go to this page to download the free formula. I'm also kind of sending them to my podcast. I have more than 100 episodes now, so people can go and listen to. This could be useful for you because there are a lot of ESG related podcasts, so you can understand what kind of work that they are doing. Especially, there are some episode on BRSR. You can search them and you can read through them and find the relevant episodes, and you can start listening to them. You can do it in during a commute or exercise or things of that sort. So, no extra time need is required to listen to a podcast. You can do it while you're doing some other work. So yeah, so these are my featured. So I would recommend you to put the featured post, and this could be a link to the report that you have worked on. All right, any particular report that is in public domain, a particular project that you have worked on in public domain, links to any certification that is very important for finding your new job. So maybe some standards certification you might do upcoming. If any webinar you have attended, that's very important in your for your upcoming job. So you can mention, so yeah, highlight something. If you have nothing, create a presentation deck. That's the very simplest thing. Create a 20-page presentation deck where you can mention why you are a good fit for it. It's almost like a sales deck. So if people comes, they can quickly go next, and see what ideas you can think of, right? So I could have done this as a presentation deck. I chose this as a document because it's more tactical, and I can go ahead and update it as I might get some new idea or people might send me feedback and might end up uh, uh, updating it. I will add a FAQ section in the end. So if people have any further follow-up questions, they can reach out to me and then they can do it. Okay. Experiences. Okay. Now, I've seen there are multiple experience that you mentioned here. Again, there are the play with the font. I'm not a fan of it. You can understand the spacing and all is not that good. Uh, Mine would not be a good example. I will show you the example of people even I've done in the similar fashion, but I'm not looking for a job. So, uh, in fact, it's also applicable for me as well. I think I should fix it. But there are good examples. I'll show you in some time of some people who have done this transition. Focus on more skill for the future role and highlight the research skill if possible. So, because I'm telling research skill because currently it would be, even if it is for strategy reporting or anything, there will be some kind of a research thing. There will be some project plans or some related work that you require. So you might have to highlight them. Okay, license and certificate. Do some online courses for your ESG related job. Mention that some online courses are relatively less affordable, I would say, and then they give the certificate that you can map it back to the LinkedIn. It looks very nice on the profile also, and it kind of about the post. So you have only one post which was done 8 years back or something, which is not ideal, right? My recommendation here, this is the most tough recommendation you might do it because your profile is one thing. So profile is your like your resume. You're treating it like a resume, but actually your content which will attract people, right? The reason you reached out to me, a non ESG, like professionally, I'm not an ESG expert. I am a software expert, and I have created software that does ESG benchmarking and ESG assessment. Definitely, I have learned on the job in the past decade. But the reason you reach out to me is because I've been publishing my podcast. I've been constantly posting on LinkedIn. You saw my LinkedIn profile and you saw that, okay, this is the person who might have some recommendation, good or bad, that's secondary, but at least I might have some idea. That makes a difference. So, anyone who is looking at your profile, they'll also go and see the content or the value that you're giving, right? Because more value you give, more people will come to your website, or more will come to your LinkedIn post, and that's how you will get more awareness. So you might get someone intermediate who might know someone who is looking for an ESG profession, that the person can, your network can help you to connect. Currently, you have about 500 in your connection, that could go into 1000, that could ease your work, right? So, so that's how it works. That's how social media works on the first place. The question you might have is, how, what should I post? That might come, and I want to take this time to unlock this and make it very easy for not only for you, for everyone. But I think the expert says they are to post daily and add value. Okay, and now if you don't have know what to post and you want format, you can copy my format. So I've mentioned this link here as few examples. So this is one of the example that I have mentioned, how I reached 100. And if you see, there's nothing. It's all straight away work. So you can pick a day in your job and explain it generically, how you have solved this, what challenges you see in mining, what kind of problems that you see in emissions for mining. So you don't have to create any new information. If you see, all this post is all my uh, existing work that I've been doing. I'm just explaining it in a format. Even this video is whatever I think like could be useful. I've heard a couple of them in different format, but I'm kind of packaging it in my format. So format is there, you post it daily. You can also, if you can start with adding some thoughtful comments on other people's post who are in your same field. Okay, if you figure out where to find your field, already you have this combination of search like mining plus ESG. As you can see, there are 216 people already in this. So you can go, if see if they post, read them, put your thoughts. It doesn't have to be super intelligent or something very. You can be very. Just don't put very good and all. Put something that shows that you have some expertise, right? And you can only spend 15 minutes a day doing all this. You don't have to spend too much of time. You can even go to any of these 8 posts. I will be posting more. So if you come later, you will find more in this list. Pick a particular format, whichever, and you post daily in the same format. That doesn't matter. But you find a structure, you find 15 minutes and you do it. Okay. For the first 10-20 days, you will not be, it will be struggle. But after a moment, you get an idea and then you can do it. Okay. The most simplest thing you can post is go back with your experience, pick one incident and kind of try to post the learnings from that experience. Challenges in the mining space, some of the people might not know, or things of that sort, things that is more lucrative or interesting for the investor community, things that an NGO must know, and things of that sort. So you can do that. Can make LinkedIn your documentation of learning, because people connect with stories, and then your story is unique story for yourself, and you can mention whatever challenges you have faced. You can also mention that what struggles you have faced, how you overcame, and all that. That also shows your character. So that I would recommend, this one thing is very important, because if you have the best LinkedIn profile and nobody is coming and watching it, it's like having a best car and it's in your garage, like it's of no use. All right, so how we will update our LinkedIn profile, this is the method I will use. So what I've done is I've created a system so that anybody can use it, and you don't need my expertise. I don't have any idea of mining engineering whatsoever, but still I would be able to use this system that would help us to update your LinkedIn profile. Okay. So firstly, this search combination that you can see on the top right, I put this. I'm not showing, I'm hiding, I'm not showing the result because privacy. So I don't want to share the privacy. You have given me permission to record this video and update in on my YouTube. That's the reason your name is only done, and then it's my name. So find the profile that has similar product. So what you do is you open them, you see what their journey was from first company to last company, and see if you something that you are connecting with, right? Look for clues and signals that you can copy. Okay, you have to just copy. Just don't think they've done it. We don't have to reinvent the wheel here. Okay, you can improve it later once you reach up a certain stage. But right now you want a job, so let's get the job. So let's do it as quickly as possible. Okay, let's see the result of 200. The result, I mean, the search result was 216 people. Then if this results get exhausted, like couldn't find, you change this ESG with sustainability, impact, climate, carbon. You can also change the mining engineering with something specific. If you have something, I've heard about couple of key terms that you have, so you can play with this two combination. Can add more combination, but I stick to two for the simplicity of it. Okay, you will have enough information with them to begin with. All right. So if you have any further question, you can ask me, send me on this. What I'll do is I'll create an FAQ. I'm not going to create a new video for it. I'll create an FAQ in the bottom of this document and add the question and try to answer as much as I can. Okay. Um, Headline. Okay. So these are what I've done is from the search, I've picked the first 5 people profile, and I've kind of mentioned uh, what they have mentioned in their headline. So one headline I've kind of, if there are some company information, I've removed it, but this is I found very generic. So first one has mentioned senior strategic analyst, an ESG analyst, then they have done this natural resource management, then mining engineer, like very nicely, but they have studied a bit. I'm not sure if will get a chance or not. Most likely we won't get a chance, but that's what it is. For me to kind of do this whole exercise of 5 profile and kind of think to this system, it took me about 4 hours to 5 hours. So your analysis, you might for your own research, you can estimate what time you might end up taking. The third one is ESG junior analyst and license manager. So this could be the quickest transition. Head of technical and principal engineer, standard director. So this was the headlines. In the about section, let's see. Uh, the first one has mentioned this base metal, and I'm not going to read all this, but I'm just highlighting this keywords which I found very interesting. So the past could be the future. Uh, this is very nice. Passionate about ESG, sustainability, and mining engineer. I thought of this mentioning total number of years in the about project development roles. This much year of experience in mining sector since 2016 impact work. So this was the about section. So what I would do is I'd kind of study maybe 20-30 of them, find things that are related, and then use my like Anvesh's uh, experience and see which one is more close and craft it in a way that they are done. I've not printed everything. There are multiple paragraphs, added some spaces, but I get an idea. You can go and when you search, you can find everything, so you can kind of understand how they are posting it. Experience. Now this is very interesting. So you can see the whole transition with the timeline. So I've kind of screenshotted and added it. Again, focusing on the title and the years, so you can see what the transition is. So from mining engineer to, so it's not the exact, like I'm picked some information that I thought you might find interesting. Mining engineer, system analyst, base metal analyst, research specialist. So a transition towards the research. This is another profile, very interesting profile, engineering intern, then audit intern, research analyst, sustainable consultant. This was a remote job. That would be an opportunity that you can take in ESG space, ESG analyst. So this is the transition. Third, intern, junior analyst, straightforward. This is non-executive. This person has not actually transitioned, but they have transitioned in their role in the current job. Fifth one is a mining technical development engineer, senior researchers, head of stakeholder engagement, consultant, project lead, independent consultant. So this person even went out and did their own gig because they were an ESG expert. So kind of I took different stream of people. Then comes the licenses and certification. These are some highlights. If you research like 100 profile, you might understand what kind of licensing certificate that you might be useful for you, that can do. What you can also do is you can share this video with some of your colleagues who might not be interested in doing the transition in ESG, but you can then debate about the topic. The idea here is, uh, and then that could be useful. So these are the licenses. Uh, some ESG fundamental advances. I'm not sure what these are. Could be from your phone. Uh, that's it. And then the experience and role. Now this they have mentioned in the experience the role. So if you see, they have mentioned pointers, small sentences, keywords, some profiles, long pointers, right? So you can. I will not read them, but I thought like it could give you a good idea about uh, what can be done, like organizing and facilitating regional consultant with mining affected communities, NGOs, government representative, all that. So yeah, that's about it. That's my research. That's a research. I just went out there, looked at 5 profile who have done the transition that you're looking for, and highlighted some of the things that you can copy paste, get inspiration from, or get motivated from. That's up to you how you want to take it. What I will do is, only for Anvesh, I will send the 5 links for him to do further research, and because I've promised him to help him with his LinkedIn profile. For you, for rest of them, you can search and find your own people, and you can do it. Now, Anvesh may have this follow-up question. He has not asked for it, but I think that as context is important to understand how the LinkedIn revamp might work. What next is also important, because it's just the first step maybe, and it's a half-cooked step, right? Like he doesn't have an ESG job right now, cannot mention anything about ESG. He might say an enthusiast of ESG or aspiring to have an ESG job and things of that sort. That could be a good headline. Looking for an ESG job, aspiration, or whatever. You can find some words and then you can say that you're looking for something. Right. So these are the 3 questions I think could be a next question for him. And I'm doing this not only for him but for the rest, so that they can, like, they're not hanging somewhere. They can connect the dots and see the end goal of landing into a job. Okay, so how do I find information about the job? That could be first thing. Okay, where the jobs are, what more information can be found. The profile that I've done are all international people, so it could be difficult for him being in India. So all those kind of questions, and which online courses to take, like how to upskill himself, what are online, what are the fees and timelines, and how much time should I have, and I need to earn money and things of that sort. So that could be another question. And the third question is how to get ESG experience. Why will someone give him an ESG related work when he have none? That's an obvious question. So I'll only there are many other questions, but I thought like let's address these 3 questions because I don't want to make this video too long. It's already maybe in 45 minutes to hour. Yeah, but those would be the 3 questions. So here is my answer to them. So what you will do is, in this case, find a profile and request them for an information interview. Okay. Now, this is very important to understand. An information interview is not a call or an interview to ask for a job. It is about information around the job. Okay. You go into that information interview with least expectation. That's the primary thing that uh, you have to consider. Okay. It has to be very short, not more than 10 to 15 minutes max. People don't have time. These are busy professionals. So you cannot squeeze out time from it. And per interview, you have to come up with 3 very good questions. And that's it. Because one person will not help you solve everything. You have to find many people and you have to distribute your questions accordingly. You can think of any questions. If someone is watching, they can ask, they can put a question in the comment below so that people can find it useful. Couple of them I can give. You can ask them like a simple thing: what kind of role would be well suited? So for that, That could be one question. Second question could be which online courses are mandatory, right? And get the name from them and you can go and apply for it. Okay. One could be an open-ended question. Just allow them to share their idea about what could be the path to this transition. How would they do it? And just listen, may take notes and observe it. Try to set up a context for them and kind of only ask them for decision. What will you do at this stage? And let them kind of decide for you. It should be mostly 80% listening, 20% reading. If you keep talking for the whole 50 minutes, you're not getting anything. So you have to kind of it might take a couple of calls till you find your rhythm, but once you find it, try to keep this equation. Okay. uh, if you want a trick, you can use something like, uh, can you please, like, once the person stops speaking, can you elaborate a bit, can you add on to it, or something like that. Can you please go on, anything you missed, anything more, things of that. So let them speak. Okay. Can watch couple of my podcast where kind of once there is a question, if there is asked, and then there is uh, a pause from, like, I kind of keep requesting them to add more. So you can find some of those in some of the podcasts. So once you listen to some of the podcasts, you find this technique there. Never ask for a job. Never. Never ask for a job in this. No, otherwise, it becomes the guards are up. They will not be open in giving you advices. You might have to find the job yourself. So don't never ask for a job. What you might end up finding is some mentors. Okay, that is very important because they might find a mentor, and these mentors, if you are in an ESG, could be very important, right? And my recommendation is at least have 20 information interviews. So keep looking out for people until you hit the 20 interview. Can have this on a phone call, simple phone call, or you can have a Google link, Google Meet link, and do it free of cost. Like both of them are almost free. So you can do that. So that's how you set up. So that's the answer to this. So you'll get more information about the job and things of that sort. The second question that we had is which online course. So this could be one of your questions. So one thing is you can check on their profile and see which online courses are there, or they will recommend you some online, and that could help. That could be a part of your learning also. So that you get information from. You can also ask people on chat and stuff to find this answer. So that's easier. The third one is how to get experience. This becomes a tricky one. Until you have an experience, nobody gives you a job. And you don't have a job because, like, nobody is giving you a job because you don't have an experience. So how to kind of break this catch 22? So here are my three recommendations. It's not for the light-hearted ones, and I'm not sure how you will manage the money in order to do it, but this is the best uh, I can think of. Okay. Firstly, in my understanding is there will be a pay cut during the transition. There is a high possibility of that. So one of the way could be to do any internship job related to this work, kind of get the ball rolling to a bit. But what you can do is work with a non-profit in the same time, or a think tank, of course, free of cost, and do work on some like larger scale project. There will be a scarcity of people who do this kind of research work and produce uh, an impact or a report. Second, can you can do a independent impact report. So you can do some find out a niche. This is a very classic one. There is always a sector analysis or a sector deep dive impact analysis kind of work that has been done. So in mining, you can pick a particular metal or some kind of, you are the expert. So you can do that, figure out different parts of it, and you can keep writing an independent report on each material or each uh, as they say, raw material. So you can do that. You can do that on region basis and things of that side. You can write an independent impact report on some company which are doing good, or at least having a good transition phase and all that. So you can write this independent, and then you can add them on LinkedIn and stuff like this. That could be a second answer. The third one could be uh, very. I mean, this one is a bit of people don't feel comfortable doing this, but I think this is where you might end up learning the most. You do some research for work for an ESG consultant. There are many currently. There are small firms also. They're always looking for talent. Okay, so you might have to end up investing your sweat equity, doing all the work, and so there can be case study that you can work or that can they can use on their marketing material, a sample of a BRSR code, do the entire activity for a or a sample company or any of any practically a particular company as a case study, of course taking permission and all. Uh, or third can be an ESG report sample, so template basically, and then basically figuring out like giving a template where you tell them exactly which how to find that data, what unit of data to be mentioned, how to write which sections to fill and all those things. So again, I'm not an expert in this area, but I understand there will be sections and things of that sort. There will be lack of knowledge from mining point of view, and that you can fill in the gap there. This is where you kind of gain experience while you are doing it. Now you can get this experience like it could be a week long job, a month long job. I don't know how it works, but the faster you do it, you will add some um, uh, body of work towards you. So maybe if you are good at doing something like this, if you can, I've seen that you have done some course in Python. So if there is a data set and you can write some quick script and that throws in some information, so you can kind of write this report, maybe a shorter, even a shorter report of 5 to 10 page. Doesn't have to be a big one, but the quality and the different angle and idea is important. In a day, you can kind of push out many different reports. And I mean, if you can put one in a day with everything end to end, doesn't have to be large one, but because you have experience, if you can distill that, that means in 30 days or maybe in 2 months you have about 20 such reports. That's a good body of work for someone to demonstrate what, and then maybe can have 2 or 3 part-time gigs to begin with, and while you are full-time interning at some place, you have an open communication where you work after hours with some consultant on some reports on a day job, and so that you can manage your finance and stuff like that. So this could be my recommendation if how to answer all these 3 questions. Again, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, drop an email. I will add an FAQ section. The whole chat GPT advice, the link that I shown, it's also here. I'll also mention in the description below. I hope you find this one useful. If you think this has any value helping experts or people in the field to do their ESG transition as a job, and this structure and this framework or this system can be used, please share it with someone. They might thank you later. See you. Bye bye.